Boss, today we've announced that Nick Freeman's joined on loan. How happy are you to have signed him on?
Yeah, very pleased. We had a good conversation with Nick last week, and it was progressing. I think a number of different clubs showed their intent and were very keen to sign him, which then meant that had to give Nick a little bit of time to think about things. But from my perspective, really pleased that he's made the choice that he has. I think we were one of the first ones to speak to him and put across what we are about as a club and where we felt that Nick could come and really make an impact, and it's paid dividends. So really pleased to sign a player of his quality and his calibre, and I'm excited to obviously get to work with him, but at the same time to integrate him into our team.
That's two midfielders in now in January. What is it you think that Nick Freeman can offer the club?
Well, I think you class both the boys as midfield players, but you have to be a bit more specific than that in terms of looking at what their qualities are. You know, we see Dan Kemp come on at the weekend, and we feel he's a player that can operate on both wings. He can operate behind the front man as a number 10, if you like, attacking midfield player. We think that Nick's probably a little bit different than that. I think he has operated wide at times, but in that number 10 role that Kempy can play, but also in those number 8 positions, those midfield positions that are occupied right now by Joby and Craig Clay. James Dayton fits into that as well. You know, we've got players that already play in those positions, but Nick's another one that really comes in to strive and make us better.
Speaking to Nick himself, he said this move is important for him to get some minutes under his belt and some consistent football. Just on that, it is a really important move for him personally.
Oh, without doubt. But I think it's an important move for everybody. You know, I think Nick's going to come here and embrace the challenge that he's got and the opportunity that he's got to get back out on the football pitch and show people what he's capable of. But at the same time, he's got a job to do for Leyton Orient in terms of pushing us on and striving for more and making us better. So I think collectively it's a real good opportunity for everybody. Really like Nick's personality and what he's about and how he sees football and what he sees from this loan move. For me, it's not just about him coming in here to play and have a kick about and get some minutes under his belt for the rest of the season. He's coming here with the attitude to muck in, to be part of it, to fit in with the club and the squad that we've already got and strive for a good second half of the season.
And we've got him in early in the week, which gives him the opportunity to train and familiarise himself with the club and put himself into contention for the weekend.
Oh, without doubt, yeah. I think if you're signing players now, it's about trying to integrate them as quickly as possible. You know, Nick hasn't, as we've already said, hasn't had a huge amount of game time this year, so we'll have to have that in mind. But we found ourselves in a similar boat last year when we signed Cease and Lawrence Vigouroux. They hadn't had a great deal of football under their belt, so you have to manipulate their time, their training, their match time to make sure that they're physically ready. But we don't feel that as though Nick's going to be far away from that, so gives him a good period of time to get to know people's names, to put names to faces, to understand what we expect of him and vice versa, and hopefully that he gets himself to the level where we feel he's capable to really make an impression at the weekend.
We've got a lot of good players in midfield. Competition's healthy though.
That's a big part of it. You know, we need to make sure that we're pushing and pushing all the time. You know, young Hector Cipriano's kicked on again so far in the performances that he's made this year when he's stepped in with or in place of Cisse. I think that Joby and Craig Clay have performed extremely well in those more advanced positions of late. But the more competition we can get alongside people like James Dayton and Louis Dennis pushing for those positions, someone like Nick is only going to make us a better team when they break in. But at the same time, it's going to push the ones that have already got the shirt and played in those positions already.
And going out the other way, Jordan Maguire-Drew signed on loan for Crawley Town today.
Yeah, I think what people need to understand, and I'm sure that Jordan does, I know he does from the conversations that we've had, is that we care about our people at this football club, and there will be people out there that maybe think I'm crazy for letting Jordan go, but I think one thing that everyone needs to be aware of is that I value Jordan as a player. I think he's a very, very good footballer. I think he'll leave this football club and go on to have a very, very good career, whatever the future may look like for him. But sometimes things don't happen, and certainly this season has been one of those cases for Jord. He's not been able to break into the team and get beyond predominantly Connor in that position, so it then becomes hard and frustrating. And one thing you don't want, and what one from the player's perspective and from ours, is you don't want sort of frustrated players around that want to go out and play football. So this works perfectly for Jordan. It's a club that's close to where he lives. It's a good opportunity for him to go and get minutes and make an impression and build his longer term career. And I'll be honest, I'm not really bothered about what anybody thinks when it comes to the succession planning and the ideas of our players. I'd never forgive myself if a player like Jordan was held back to sit on our bench or not make our bench when he's got the opportunity to build a career for himself. This is a vulnerable position the whole world finds him in, and certainly us people involved in football. So I feel it's part of my responsibility and the club's responsibility to help someone like Jordan go and do that. So he goes with our well-being and our best wishes to support him to go and be successful. Hopefully not too successful in terms of comparison and competition with us, but I think it's the right thing for everybody right now.